Hello and welcome to another week of Vigorously with your girl Val Kleinhans. I did what is a very Italian-American thing and move my hands and flip this up. So we're gonna... I'm sorry, I did not mean to be that aggressive. I'm sorry, but we're ready to do this. We're ready for another week. Meteorological spring has hit. I think that's how to say it. And, you know, calendar-wise, I don't know why they do this. I wish we just followed the weather when it comes to our calendar. And yet, for some reason, we don't. We are now in spring this week, according to the weather. However, our calendars said that we hit spring a month ago. And I don't know about y'all, but in Minnesota, it absolutely did not feel like it. We were like slowly clawing our way out of winter like this time a month ago. A lot of things were different a month ago. I was at a completely different point at my buying a home journey. That is journeying. Life is lifing in that regard. I'm going to respect some privacy here and not get too detailed with what's going on, but just watch for the moment when I can speak a little bit more and when I can show you what I'm excited to show you. We're not there yet for a lot of reasons. Can't disclose what they are, but when we're there, I promise you will see the conclusion to everything that I have been talking about. When life gets stressful during moments like buying a home, because there are continual ups and downs with that process. Just be prepared if you're about to embark on it yourself. Welcome to it. I have been nursing the inner child with my favorite 90s movies. And I've also been introducing myself to 90s movies that I haven't watched before, only because at the time I was too young to see certain ones. But now I'm old enough where I can and I can go back. When I was growing up in the 90s, I don't remember much of the early 90s. I was born in 1990. So from 95 on, I have a pretty solid memory. But I was also a child, so what was on the TV screens was controlled and limited for obvious reasons. It was Nickelodeon, it was Good Burger, it was Are You Afraid of the Dark? Nick at Night, all that was my SNL. It was probably your SNL too, if you're reminiscing. And I didn't see the iconic movies that, where there's huge identifiers for the era itself until a little bit later because they were for adults. Clueless. I'm talking about Clueless. We love a Clueless moment. I didn't see that until I was a teenager. A couple years after it actually came out. Another movie that is on this list, that is something that it's that type of situation where I went back and I rewatched it later, was Singles. Singles was made when I was very young, so I obviously didn't see it at the time it came out. I wasn't even allowed to see Titanic at the time that it came out, but all of these you see later and you play catch up a little bit. So Singles is one of those movies. I don't know how I missed the boat on this particular movie until now, but oh my goodness, does this pull all the grunge and 90s heartstrings. I love the sense of humor that is part of the writing behind this movie. I love the odd moments. I love the way the characters interact with each other. I love the overall message of the movie and the fact that it is set to the backdrop of the Seattle grunge scene at the time is just a bonus. Really, the aesthetic is just a bonus. And I can be a bit of a Pinterest girly sometimes too, especially when it comes to clothes or how, to put an outfit together. Of course, I'm getting inspo from you lovelies on Instagram as well. And that's where I kind of combine. Both locations are where I take my inspiration. So when I was watching Singles, I was like, skirt! We need a new Pinterest board for a new vibe. Janet Livermore's outfits, okay? Can we talk about Janet Livermore's outfits? My goodness. It was the perfect balance of things I actually remember being worn at the time with enough of an edge that made me happy, that made the rock and metal loving part of me happy. So I was like, okay, nice balance. It wasn't as corporate. It was a little bit more free. It was a little bit more just fun. Fun's the right word. So I was taking inspo from her outfits in the movie, and I went out and shot with my camera and did my very best to share that inspiration as I interpret it with you on Instagram. I finally got out with my camera over the weekend, enjoyed the weather that we'd had. Well, Saturday was a good day. Saturday was the best day weather-wise. We ended up with some rain on Easter, but Saturday was the day that I went out and did all this, and I had so much fun. It's just like there's something therapeutic about driving with the windows down and enjoying the wind in your face. You got your favorite music turned up, and you're just enjoying nature and life as it is in its simplest, purest form. There's no complications. There's no distractions. You're just embracing what is. And I got to do that on Saturday, and it was so refreshing. It was better than any bit of alcohol, really, in my opinion. And sometimes you just need that in life. It was healing. It was weird. It was a weird, like, moment where, there's a lot of chaos in another part of my life, but something about catching up on these 90s movies and playing 90s music with the windows down and just enjoying the wind in your hair and the music turned up and the cars going down the road. And there's just something that's healing about that. It's like, man, this was when things were a little bit simpler. And now I have calmed the hell down, and I've calmed myself down by doing these things. So 10 out of 10 recommend. 10 out of 10 recommend revisiting movies from your childhood, revisiting music from your childhood, going for a drive and clearing your head. Like, fabulous. And getting some sun. If you live in a place where there is not a lot of sun, Minnesota can be sunny, but for at least 6 months out of the year, we're dealing with winter-ish weather, if not actual winter weather. So the sun is kind of hit or miss during that period. But the rest of the year, we're pretty sunny. It's just the other part of the year that's... So you take what you can get. When I look at weather, I compare it to... my frame of reference was Pittsburgh. So for me, this is still sunnier than that. And I think statistically it actually is. Like, Minnesota is sunnier than Pittsburgh. So I'm enjoying that. However, the winter's winter here. They winter. And comparatively, when I look at weather defined as winter in Pittsburgh versus the Midwest, it's a completely different situation. Pittsburgh does not have as harsh of a winter as anywhere in the Midwest. I'm saying it right now. Yeah, wind chill was not a thing. Wind chill was not a thing. And it's now something that I live with. And I actively choose to live where the air hurts my face for 6 months out of the year. And that's because truly, other than that, other than those moments, really living here is relaxing. Living here is... I enjoy it. It's a little bit quieter. I can think here, and I still have access to the things that I like when I want to. I can still go to Minneapolis whenever I want something, a concert, a particular restaurant, whatever that I can't find a little bit closer, like that type of thing. I can still go do it, and it's not too much of a project. You can get there within an hour, like from where I'm from. So it's a nice balance. I enjoy it here, and that's why really we decided to get a home here and actually stay. I mean, the job stability and security that does come with working at Mayo Clinic, I mean, it speaks for itself, but And sure, we weighed that. That was a big part of the decision too. But also, we don't hate living here. We really don't. And especially, it gets better when you start to make your life your own too, and make decisions like, let me throw on one of my favorite movies and calm the hell down. Or let me go back and listen to music that still slaps and I don't care how old it is. Like that kind of thing. When you're making moves that are more authentic to yourself, you just feel like your soul has been nurtured. So I challenge you to do that this week. Oh, and speaking of, I need to look up what is happening, because you're watching me right now, you're looking at me right now, you're listening. If you're listening to me right now, I'll just tell you, I've got a Good Charlotte shirt on today, because it just happened to be around. However, speaking of nostalgic acts, I mean, they're not quite 90s, but for me, they're also an early 2000s nostalgia, and I was a huge Good Charlotte fan, still am. Put some respect on their name, Young and the Restless. Young and the Hopeless, oh my God. Young and the Hopeless, the album, not the TV show. The album still slaps, it still speaks, it still nurtures those primal, like, initial feelings and struggles that you go through as a teenager. And if we're being 1,000 right now, those struggles still creep into adulthood from time to time too. So it's nice to have that to go back to. And I have checked out their Instagram and the caption, okay? The caption, the photo, this was posted at this time 3 days ago, but they're filming something. This little treat that Good Charlotte gave us on Instagram, there's a pic of them filming something. It looks like it probably is a music video. They're doing something, is from what I'm gathering. And the only thing the caption says, something's happening? Question mark? Well, what is it, Good Charlotte? What is it? We need to know. Like, they've been teasing their return for, I want to say, what, about 2 months now, at least? I've kind of had my eye on this when Joel started to speak up, and I do love his podcast, Artist Friendly. Shout out. I love the way he interviews a musician. I think you can learn a lot from just the fact that he really allows somebody to tell their story. But anyway, so we knew some things were coming. There were some teasers, there were some hints. But now, with this pic of them, what appears to be filming a music video, we might be getting some new music. We might be getting some new music. And if we do, man, I cannot wait to see how they evolve. I'm going to be looking for that. Like, yes, we want to go back to the anthem. We want to go to Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous. We want to go back to Hold On. We want all those songs. But they were doing that in their early 20s. And everybody has gotten 20 years older now. So, I hope that they find a nice balance in doing what we love them for, but also doing it, in a way that's authentic to them now and believable now. I think the Madden brothers are going to deliver on this, and I cannot wait to see what they do. So that's where my head has been at lately. That's where my head has been at this week. Oh, would you like some 90s music recommendations? Because I can give those. Obviously, Spice Girls, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, that was on the playlist this week. There was Eagle Eye Cherry, Save Tonight, that one-hit wonder, that was on my playlist. Blind Melon, Tones of Home. And of course, No Rain, duh. Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, the classic grunge stuff too. Like, sit down and make a playlist from your favorite era. It is really, really, really therapeutic. And 90s movies. I've got a few 90s movies recommendations for you other than singles, because let's just be honest, we have gone on and on about singles. We love singles, but Empire Records needs to be on your list if you're looking for like something that captures the era. And also if you're a music fan, that is going to be right up your alley. We're looking for Clueless. We're looking for movies like that. Empire Records, Clueless, Singles, Wayne's World, Ace Ventura, Good Burger. Like, to me, those are some that absolutely capture the era. Blair Witch Project, the original Blair Witch Project, even Book of Shadows. Book of Shadows is just kind of like, and I'm talking about Blair Witch 2 if you don't know what that is, but it's called Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows. Oh my goodness. Of course, it's not as good as the original. It's not, but It's not as good in the original in that we've seen and done the Blair Witch story before, and they really don't add to it in Blair Witch 2. They just sort of, they try to make it very Criminal Minds and CSI with like, ooh, there's now murders that are believed to have been caused by, are they caused by the Blair Witch, or are they caused by people struggling psychologically and mentally? I don't know. Like they kind of leave that vibe with it, and I'm like, skirt, I don't know about that direction. I was way more into the paranormal aspect, and they shy away from that in Blair Witch 2, and that's my problem with it. But for the nostalgia and the soundtrack, it still hits. So take those recommendations, have yourself a lovely, lovely week, and think about that while you go throughout your week. Go revisit what you loved as a child, your favorite years, your favorite era, whatever that timeline is for you. Go back, enjoy it, soak it in, enjoy. This week, we do have a guest. Speaking of nostalgia, we're kind of going to stay on that same train, because this man that I've interviewed and that we're about to meet today, his name is Nathan James. And Nathan James is doing new metal in a very different and new way. He's modernizing it, and if you listen to his music, you'll hear what I'm talking about. And he'll explain to the best of his ability how. We're going to learn about that. We're going to learn about what Nathan James is doing today.